Hello, in this presentation I will talk about casing a book with paste paper. So the supplies you'll need for this that I'll be showing include a pamphlet or some other book to be cased, um, paste paper that's larger than the open pamphlet or book on all sides by at least 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, a bone folder, an X-Acto knife, a straight edge, PVA glue, and a brush, newsprint or magazine pages, wax paper, and then a book or some other weight that you can put on your pasted book in order for it to dry flat. So here I'm taking my pamphlet, which is made of 4 folios with a 3-hole punch pamphlet stitch, and I have a sheet of paste paper that is bigger than the pamphlet on all 4 sides by at least 3/4 of an inch. I folded the paste paper to set that up, and then using a pencil I will mark where my turnovers will be scored on the paste paper. I need to make those marks a little bit further outside the left and right sides here because as the paste paper folds around the pamphlet, it takes a little bit more paste paper to achieve about a 1/16 of an inch extra um, size to the turnover than the pamphlet itself. It's important to make sure your pamphlet is appropriately trimmed on the top, bottom, and foredge before you pursue the casing. So with a bone folder, I'm making 2 to 3 firm scores in the paper and then folding it over with the bone folder just to set up that fold. Um, Here I need to work my way all around the book by folding and then using the bone folder to set it up. And this folded over turnover here makes a really nice edge so that the paste goes from the outside to the inside of the book. Then using my straight edge, I will make a 45-degree angle cut just a little bit away from that pencil mark at each corner. If you're just slightly off of 45, you'll be okay. With experience, you can kind of get a good eyeball sense of what the 45-degree angle is there. If you've got any extra paper, um, one side of the turnover is a little bigger than the others, you can trim those at this point. Now what I'll do, once I'm sure that all the foldovers are in place, is I'll use PVA glue. You can also do this step with a paste like Yes paste works well, which is another kind of wheat paste. Or if you're doing very large pasting of turnovers, sometimes I'll make a mixture of PVA and a paste made with cooked wheat paste, similar to what we use for the paste paper itself. When doing that, it extends the drying time a little bit more. But in most small casings, I find straight PVA works well. So using newsprint underneath and then shifting it, you see, so I can keep any glue on the edge of it off, I can then uh, use the bone folder and turn over the paste paper on those edges. Um, so it's good to keep magazine pages or newspaper pages for this purpose in order to paste first in the folded over seam and then off the edge. When you do this, you need to make sure that you're applying the glue parallel to the edge of the paper. That way you don't have glue slipping out and under. If you do have a little bit of excess glue, you can use a dampened paper towel or rag to clean that up. So I'm completing the process with the third and fourth sides here of the turnovers on the paste paper, making sure the glue is evenly applied across that whole surface. As you keep going here, just keep using more of the newsprint. Having a stack of it, I think, helps the way I'm doing here. That way you have it ready in place for the next side of the turnovers on the paste paper for the cover of the pamphlet. Once this process is completed and you've used your bone folder to firmly attach the turnovers in each case. You can cover this up with some wax paper and then leave it to dry a little bit before the next step. So now that my turnover paste paper is dry, after an hour or so at least, then I can set up the pamphlet itself for pasting into the book. So I line it to the center of the paste papered book, and then using newsprint behind the first page, I can then apply the paste to the full surface of the outside of the pamphlet. The newsprint is there to protect any of that glue from getting on the other pages of the pamphlet. So I'll work from the center out, and then at the end I'll finish pasting the far edges of the pamphlet. You don't want to get the glue too close into the spine edge, and then I will take a little probe, remove the newsprint, and replace it with a piece of wax paper that I've cut in preparation for this. Now you want to make sure the pamphlet is in exactly the position you want, and then using your probe you can hold that down and fold the paste in. By having the newsprint replacing the other one, I make sure that if any glue squeaks out, it does not attach any of the pages of the pamphlet together. I will repeat this process for the back side of the pamphlet, putting out glue over the surface of the cover, outside cover of the pamphlet, and working it from the center out, and then working it all the way to the edges of the paper. Remove the newsprint, really important because that paste is there. Replace it with a piece of wax paper. And then using your probe, hold it in place and fold the pamphlet in. So here we have the completed book that's been cased in paste paper. You'll note that the book is contained within the paste paper turnovers and that the turnovers are under the end papers. I have also slightly trimmed the corners here just so these don't get dinged up. There's also convenient tools that have corner rounders that can help. And so this was placed under a weight for overnight, say 12 hours, a couple books in order for it to dry flat. So I hope you find this as a useful way of presenting pamphlets in a more formal way.